There's going to be some occasions when you're going to want to change the sort order of index entries. And FrameMaker gives you a convenient way of doing that. And to illustrate this, we'll put in a series of markers that are basically numbers. Now, the reason we're going to show you this with numbers is you may want to sometimes do like a part number index and that type of thing where the sorting on numbers is going to be relevant. So we're just going to do this as a convenience. Let's just put our cursor anywhere here. And then we'll actually type in some literal numbers. So we're going to separate these entries with semicolons because we want multiple entries. So let's just do, we'll just put in a series of numbers here from 1 to maybe 1 to 10. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then of course, again, we're separating these with semicolons. And let's put in 15 and then we'll put in 20. So what we're expecting is a bunch of different entries in our index. Each one of them is going to be a number. So let's go ahead and click Create. And then we'll go ahead and generate our index again. And we're going to get a separate group title character here. This is going to be called numerics. And we'll talk about this later when we get into the formatting. And let me make this a little bit smaller so it's easier to see. And we'll go up to the top here. So there's our numerics, and it can be a little confusing here because obviously we have page numbers too, but I want you to just see the raw entries. So you've got 1, 10, 15, 2, 20, 3, 4, and 5, and this right on through 9. And this may surprise you a little bit because you may be expecting, 1 through 10, then 15 and 20 all in numeric order. But what happens is FrameMaker uses what's sometimes called an ASCII sort. So it's sorting these as strings, as words, and not as numbers. So that's why you have all the ones together. You've got 1, 10, 15, 2, 20. And this may not be what you want. You may actually want these to sort numerically. So what we can do is we can actually change the sort order inside the index and markers. So let's go to this marker here. Now this is can be a little bit difficult because we've got all these semicolons, but let's just see if we can work this out real quick. And the way you do this is you put your sort order in square brackets. So for example, let's pad these out with zeros, and that's typically what you do. So we've got our maximum's 2 digits, so you've got 20 as 2 digits. So let's pad these out. So let's say open square bracket, and then we're going to say 0, 1, close square bracket. And then we're just going to move our cursor over, and we'll do the same thing with the 2. So we'll make this 02, and then we'll make this 03. And let's just do one more. That's probably enough. We'll just do the 4s. We'll let the other ones sort where they want to sort. So we'll do 04. And notice that we're adding this directly after the entry itself and before the semicolon. So you definitely don't want to get confused with that. Now the thing to remember is whatever's in those square brackets, including the square brackets, are not going to show up in the index. They're just going to determine the sort order. So let's click Save. And then we'll go ahead and generate this. Matter of fact, before we generate it, let's delete these entries that we didn't put the sort order in. So we're going to delete the 5 through 9, and we're just going to leave these other ones so everything sorts correctly. So let's go ahead and generate this. And again, they're numbers, so they're all going to be in our numeric section, but now they should be sorted numerically instead of with an ASCII sort. So you can see now we've got 1 at the top, then 2, then 3, then 4, then we jump down to 10, 15, and 20. Just like we'd expect numerically, because again we forced FrameMaker to sort in this order by putting these things in brackets. Now let me just show you one more. Let's view our markers here. Let's go to this Microsoft Word entry, and remember what we did. We made this a cross-reference entry. One of the things we could have done was we could have got tricky. Instead of making a cross-reference entry, we could have done something like this. We could have just put in Microsoft Word and then sorted them in the W's. So it's going to be an M entry, but it's not going to be listed under the M's. It's going to be listed under the W's because that's the sort order we put in there. So let's try that and see if that works. Go ahead and generate it. And you can see that now we actually dropped that Microsoft Word. We dropped that under the W's by adding that sort order in square brackets there. So that's another way you can actually change where your index entries show up in your index.